Hello, viewers. Welcome to another edition of Solution Illuminators Series podcast. I have my high school friends here, childhood friends. They're going to be asking me questions about life and this time of my year, celebrating my 40th birthday. And I hope you enjoy and have something to learn from the conversation. Thank you. All right, so my guests here today are Dr. Toluleke Famuyiwa from United Kingdom, and also Dr. Sanusi Abib from United Kingdom. These are my childhood friends. They came all the way from United Kingdom to celebrate my birthday, and we are dedicating this episode of Solution Illuminators Series to my birthday, and also having a friendship conversation. That's what it's all about, and hope you guys learn something from it. So I'll give it to my guest host. Dr. Toluleke Famuyiwa.
Yeah, Tolu, thanks for inviting us. I think I should start from that and for setting up this, just so people can, celebrate you and learn one or two things from how far you've come. I don't know if you want me to just hit it off with some questions.
Yeah, go ahead with the question.
Or you want
Habib
to
also
say something?
I can say something in the form of introduction as well. So yeah, again, happy birthday. It's a special occasion, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm proud of the man you've become. You've really come a long way, and yeah, I'm just saying I'm really, really proud of you.
Thank you so
What
much.
you've achieved family-wise,
Mhm.
career-wise, is inspiring, and yeah, we've come a long way. So let's just set it off.
Okay, good. Let's start.
So how does it feel being 40?
Being 40 is almost like being in my 30s. I don't see any difference. You guys saw the way I was dancing just a couple of days ago during the celebration.
Yeah.
I think it's just the realization that life is now something to be taken more seriously, and I have to be more intentional about the way I live every piece of it, because 40 is something, and I just pray to God that I have another 40 years to live at least.
Yeah, let's just say it's like the third of your life cycle.
Mhm.
It's not half, because if you say half, look at the lifespan, or what do you call it? Is it lifespan? How do you
Yeah,
say it?
life expectancy.
Yeah, in US, I think it's about 80,
Yeah, it's a little bit less than 80.
less than 80. So yeah, anything after 80 is a bonus. But yeah, we pray that you're gonna be 100,
Yes.
110, 120. So let's say it's just a third of your life. So you
Yeah.
still have a long way,
Long way. Yeah.
ahead of you.
That's my prayer to God.
That's the prayer.
Yeah, that's the prayer.
Yeah, and you talked about being more intentional, or what did you say?
Yeah,
Yeah.
being more intentional.
You've always been intentional.
Yeah, well,
So
that's true. What more do I mean about that?
What more? Yeah.
Well, I give you an example.
Yeah.
Example of that is the relationship and
Yeah.
how much I invest in relationships that I have.
Mm.
Over years, I've seen that it's not always fair to expect the same things, same level of commitment from people.
Yeah.
Well, at 40, you not just like want to focus on those key relationships.
Yeah. Yeah.
And invest all your time in it, such that those are the relationships that are probably going to give me the best return. Have you ever heard of the 80-20 rule before? So you can focus on the 20% of relationship, I can get about 80% return from those relationships.
That's talking about quality over quantity.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So I have a question about being intentional as well. Like, it's not just about relationship. I believe you've got some bucket lists.
Yes.
Do you have one?
So
Are there things you still hope to achieve?
Yeah.
You're 40 now.
Yeah.
I mean, don't slow down at all. You just need to start
Yeah.
living.
Yeah.
So what are the things that the bucket list that you like to achieve going forward?
Well, bucket list is it depends on the area of my life. I want to expand the family, want more kids. That's a bucket list.
Interesting. I hope that shares in agreement.
Yes. Then bucket list is to become a professional in the industry. I thought I was moving through the academic path before. I've been a professor in the college a couple of times. I'm just moving towards the industry. So another bucket list is to be a good industry professional, always rising in a career at a very good speed. Then also exploring my talents and gifts. Of recent, I discovered I have the gift of humor. That's something I did not realize about myself growing up. So I want to do stand up at some point and just
Yeah,
just
I think I agree with that because you command that presence, that authority, and I think it has to do with some of the leadership courses you've been
yes.
to, and yeah, I think it's really, really made you a better person, to be honest. And yeah, I'm really proud of you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
yeah, so you want to become a professional,
Mhm.
and then of course academic parts, you
Okay.
already tick that box, so that is more of industry
Industry
professional.
now, yeah.
Great stuff.
Then expand the family, then explore my talents more.
Talent.
Just like you, I love writing,
Yeah.
I love speaking. John Maxwell, Toastmasters, all this engagement actually helped me see a side of myself that I probably would never be able to see if I just focused on academics.
All right. So it's nothing. Yeah. Carry on. Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's nothing like bungee jumping and stuff like that. In your bucket. Because I have that on my bucket.
Oh yeah, so you think like that. So I also, I mean, I was thinking of skydiving.
Yeah, exactly. I have that on my bucket list.
Yes.
As well.
Oh, I've
I
been.
don't think you can do that.
Yeah.
No, like when I'm like 80 or 90, when I'm almost going.
Yeah. So you can just go.
Skydiving,
So
yeah.
that would just be a way for you to go, right?
Exactly. So if I go from there, fine and good.
Wow, interesting. So there are probably other things that I probably cannot remember now, but those are the key things that I think about every day. Then, of course, Solution Illuminators. This is a platform that I think I can impact the world. Because in my own opinion, I think my impact can be very limited if I just think about industry or what do you call it, academic alone. Except I discovered something really so new that maybe I discovered the cure for cancer.
Yeah.
But it's not impossible even at the industry level. Yeah. So I'm also into all that new discoveries. But then I also think if you want to reach the community, you have to be able to communicate with them in such a way that you're trying to impact them through things that matters to them.
Yeah. Very inspirational. Very inspirational. Yeah. Nice one. Right. So have you got any other question? Why?
Yeah, maybe a side comment. Still related a bit to being intentional and looking ahead at what that would achieve, and then casting our minds back to the past. Because I think I'm part of your journey to
yes, you are. Still very young.
Yeah,
very
and
young.
I can testify to the strength of little steps and very strong routines, because I don't think you can do just one big thing that gets you there. It's usually just the little steps and a very, very good routine. And I'm a testament to your routines.
Yes.
Yeah, I just think that's a lesson for your viewers that relative to getting there, it's usually not the big move. It's always the small little moves that add something, to it, and a little more.
Yeah, again, that talks about the strategy in life, isn't it? He's a strong chess player, so we need to talk about that too. So that probably impacted on him as well.
Yeah,
the love for chess, strategizing, planning,
the middle game thing. Yeah. So good job. So relative to career, any interesting research going on?
No, I mean my research experiences have been during my PhD was in oncology at the Florida Atlantic University. Then of course that was prostate cancer. Then I did gastric cancer research at University of Miami. Then currently I'm at National Institute of Health doing HIV research. And we still do a little bit of gene therapy that has to do with cancer patients a little bit, because I still think cancer oncology is an area that we still need to work a lot on. So that has been my research experience so far. And I'm still very much interested in all this little because I feel the immune system bring everything together at some point. And you guys are doctors, so you should teach.
I mean,
Habib is very interested in
I'm interested in oncology, specifically gynecology, oncology. But I mean, mine is more of the therapeutic aspect of things, the surgical aspect of things, not the medical
Okay.
aspect of things. And I'm not really into research at the moment. So we just wait for you guys to, get the groundbreaking stuff, and then
Yeah.
can bring it to practice. But yeah.
So when you said the surgical aspect, that could mean removing the primary side of the tumor.
Absolutely, yeah,
Okay.
the bulking surgery gets it clearly, the organs are affected, and then then of course you have the medical oncology coming after that, or your radiation therapy and what have you.
Yeah. And when you say oncology, that means that it has to do with the female and their reproductive part that is impacted.
Yeah, absolutely. We have 5 major areas, basically, the cervix, uterus, ovary, fallopian tube, peritoneum, vagina, and vulva. Yeah. Just female reproductive.
Yeah. Wow, interesting. Now we might have to have a conversation about this.
I need to have a conversation with you as well. Like, all those basics, all those primary stuff and all that. Yeah, they're very useful. It's good to build your knowledge right from the scratch. The foundation, once it's very, very strong, it kind of translates into the kind of care you give to your patients as well. So yeah, well done to you're doing very well.
Thank you so much.
Right, so let's go back to childhood days and all that. You got any favorite moments?
Well, favorite moment is what I've shared with you guys. African Church Grammar School, going to school and making jokes about so many things and still finding a way to learn. And then just because over the years I've now discovered that's actually the best way to learn. Now when I study, I don't study 1 hour, 2 hours as I go. I take breaks in between and find something funny and trying to laugh and trying to relax. So now going back to that time that we had the opportunity to do that, I think that was a good experience, learning how to actually learn, but finding something that is funny that can relax your nerves so that you can probably go even further than you're planning to. So the childhood memories, walking to African Church Grammar School and going to lessons and meeting people from different schools and just trying to create a very relatable and friendly environment. That's where I get a lot of nicknames that you guys know about.
I think we need to talk about some of the nicknames. That is not fun. You said the same thing at the birthday. You just have to make it back. So that's interesting. I think if you look at the structure of education, learning, back at home in our days, I don't think it's so much from like the structure itself. So it's the good thing that we found a way to learn and have fun at the same time. It kind of helps us, and that's what obtains nowadays. Fun learning. You have to make learning fun. And that's the way you get to drive all the things.
I also tell myself one of my goals in life is to bring those two worlds together, education and entertainment. So call it edutainment.
Wow.
Because I think.
Do we have anything like that on the internet? Do we?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
There is, right? Okay. I thought it's for news making.
No. So it seems like a different path, but I think that there's a way for the path to actually align a little bit. So I think if people can make it, because we know that, for example, in Nigeria, you see how much money is being pumped into entertainment. And your cowbell days and competition days. So you know how that
maybe traveling bag, wall clock and stuff like that.
Can you imagine if they cannot bring some of those funds that they were pumping into entertainment and kind of make it available in education in a way that it's beneficial to both?
Absolutely. I think there has to be a balance, because what obtains now, in developed clients, I think there's a little bit of tilt toward the entertainment part compared to the education. Fine, education is not for everybody. Fine, you need to have the basics, but not everybody needs to go to college, universities, and all that. You can learn skills. That has to be a balance, basically. But I think education is kind of in the back burner at the moment. So that sounds.
And in the Western world, I don't know, in the US, for example, I'm not sure if it's the same in the UK. That's something that they do very well. So that people come from even different parts of the world to go to talent hunt and try to be discovered because
Yeah.
they know
It's
that.
for entertainment, right?
Yeah, entertainment. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they
It's the
know.
same everywhere.
Yeah.
It's the same everywhere,
Yeah.
but we're not having so much of that in education nowadays.
Yeah. So if they can do the same thing for education and in all of this country, I think it will be something really beneficial.
Right. Over to you. Any questions?
Can you take us back memory lane to
Yes.
and talk about the first day you saw Tasha?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think we heard a little bit about how it started.
Yeah, just for
Wonderful speech. No, because we need to give a background, so he's not just talking about everything. So let's start from what we know.
Okay.
So we know that it was your mother-in-law.
No, I'm talking about the very first
That was
day.
instrumental. Yeah, I mean, just give the background now. Instrumental to you meeting your wife. Yeah, so tell us from there.
So I mean, we went to the same school, Florida Atlantic University.
Right. For masters.
Yeah, for masters.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in the same reading room. We call it computer room, whereby you have different computers. You actually work in a computer, and once in a while you say hi to people. Yeah, so you just started by saying hi.
So that means you actually walked up to her and still did the normal man thing. Well, you made us believe that it was your mother-in-law that did everything. So
No, yeah,
good
of
job,
course.
man.
Oh yeah, of course. I was just saying that I'm aware that a lot of mother-in-laws will focus on things that they're not supposed to focus on, and that can derail the relationship that is being built. So she was not that type of woman.
Yeah.
So, but then I still.
Why going for a student? Why not for a made person, like a working class person?
Yeah. There are people who are really. So it's good to like be open-minded and just meet somebody, and if you see people are getting along, give them the opportunity to know each other.
Yeah.
And that was what she did.
And have a bigger picture, not just focus on the immediate thing. So that's a very useful learning point, from your side.
So you said hi, and what happened?
As you said, hi back, and all of a sudden, we find ourselves on the altar.
I'm sure it's not that linear. It's an explanation now.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think it's just a big, beautiful thing when those things happen, like in a congruent manner. Yeah, it's a lovely thing. And yeah, we can't really thank her enough because each time we meet her, it's always with open arms, and she's always there, laughing,
smiling, sweet.
Yeah. So we're very lucky to have her. Yeah. I think I should maybe go back again, memory lane.
Memory lane, okay.
Yeah, because we were roommates in Ife, during my it was during my 4th year.
Yes.
Yeah, we were roommates, and Tolu would be there studying. And this is something we started doing way back from secondary school, and that leads me to that cycle of friendship again. Because I don't see a lot of people being lucky.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. Thinking about us as
yes.
Yeah. How will you say friendship has influenced you? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I always say I've never been the best in the class at any point in my life.
Both of us.
So even to the elementary, I would go back to when I was really young. I said that a little bit during the birthday. I was actually a child that my parents were almost giving up that this kid is probably not just going to be able to speak or do anything.
That's a very inspiring moment for me when I heard that. I never knew that about you, to be honest. And nowadays we have so many people on the spectrum and things like that. You turning out, becoming what you've become, top class professional. It's actually inspiring, So don't give up. You have so many kids now, not talking, they have maybe the milestone a little bit delayed, look at Tolu, professor.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah. That's why when I see a kid that is slow, I've said that so many times. I've interjected parents. I don't want to get into names of anybody. I've interjected parents that have tried to say something about a kid, which the kid was appearing very slow. And I was always saying, well, you can say that because I'm a good example of a kid that I was not even slow. I was not only slow, I was not even trying to start at all.
Yeah.
You
started with singing, so you kind of skipped the milestone and just jumped. You didn't crawl, you just started flying.
Yeah, and that's why when I get together, the first thing I want to hear people do is to sing. And people don't understand that because
you can have a Christian background. You're a Muslim, maybe that's not going to be.
Wow, that's something to learn about.
Yeah, I mean, we don't sing like that.
Yeah, because I think somebody's personality can come out when they sing.
Yeah.
And they're trying to say something. They might be as accurate as who they really are. But when they sing, they forget about themselves and their personality can come out.
Yeah,
that's true. Look at Johnny. Johnny loves to sing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
That's
I mean, it's gonna be. I don't want to use swear words and all that, but it's gonna be a genius. I really believe so.
That's good.
Right. So back to what friendship means to you, and what are the things that kind of look at in choosing friends. Maybe that's gonna help.
But we didn't choose ourselves as friends.
No. I think I was a bit intentional about friends, and I think you are as well.
Yeah.
I can remember.
You know how we met?
I think let me just say it and tell me if that's what you think as well. I think it was in year 3 in high school.
Year 2.
Was it year 2?
You were the class captain, right? In JSS2.
No.
JSS2A.
Yeah. I was when I was sitting beside Shoyle and all that. Yeah, I can't really have. I don't have a very good memory of you back then. I think the first memory that comes to mind is year 3. We sat together. I think you were behind me, towards the back.
Yeah.
So we kind of have the same kind of personality and all that. This cool guy, gentle guy, and all that. We just kind of got along.
Yeah.
And then AY kind of came a little bit later on. No, I always be my boy, right? From primary school days. But yeah, we just he was a bit more extrovert, a different kind of personality. So we needed that kind of vibe,
that kind of man.
So I was a bit intentional about my friends. So let's hear from you.
So did you guys you went to the same elementary?
No, I was his senior. He was my junior. He was my school boy. My school boy. Now becoming my mate.
Okay, wow.
From primary 3 to GS1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. I was his dad. What's going on here? I probably have that kind of, superior complex. This guy is my junior. He's my class.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So back to answer your question, I think it's just it's what they call the law of attraction. Who you are is who you attract, and I think it's just happening randomly. It's like balls moving around, and before you know, balls that are alike just gather together, and we form like 5 of us.
6.
Yeah, 5 plus 1. Just there to came a little bit at some point. Yeah, additional today. We're expecting to.
Great. You have some questions for us as well.
Well,
are we done with grilling him?
No, we can just, keep swinging around.
Okay.
So for you guys, I'll start with Abib. I saw on your LinkedIn page that
I can't remember it existed. What did you see? Tell me.
That as doctors, you can only, I'm paraphrasing now, you can only care, but God heals. What?
That's a powerful statement, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, what kind of upbringing did you have that? What kind of experience did you have that makes you have that kind of?
Yeah, I think as Africans, Nigerians specifically, you cannot really take the spirituality out of us because that's where we're kind of wired right from the start. We know there's a divine being somewhere, somebody who is the author of our affairs and things like that. So even with all the technological advancements, with medicine, with everything, you still kind of have the back of your mind that there are still some things that medicine is not going to take care of.
Yes.
That cannot answer. All right. So and that's where the spirituality comes in, fills in the gap and all that. So it's just being aware of your limits, really. Like okay, you can only care. The ultimate healing is still from God. So but don't quote me on this because it's not what you kind of tend to say in developed clients because it's all about what you can do with your hands, what technology, what the what knowledge and skills that you have really. The only time you think about spirituality is when maybe you're dealing with constipation, terminally ill patients, and end of life care. That's when it tends to involve spiritual fathers and imams and things like that. Toward the end of life, it's not really a common thing. But I think that was what I was thinking at the time. It's not really changed, in terms of what I feel about life.
Wow, that's very powerful. I mean, we all know that they said humans are primarily spiritual. And I totally believe that. I don't think everybody believes that. We're primarily spiritual before there's so many things happen in the spiritual realm that determines what is happening in the physical. I totally believe that.
I think so, yeah.
For sure. And in the case of Dr. Ayolukushiamba, your choice of...
Does he have a LinkedIn?
Yes,
you guys met me online. You met me
online where
you met me on
professional guy
on all the platforms.
Anyway.
So I mean, okay, so let's go to a LinkedIn page. That's where he wants me to go.
So, I was just wondering, but I've never seen him on LinkedIn.
Yes, he's on LinkedIn. We actually connected on LinkedIn.
Oh, great.
So on LinkedIn, I'm based showing your experiences. You had a couple of environment that you worked from Nigeria all the way to United Kingdom. What has changed in your experience as a doctor? And how has the experience that you had along the way changed the way you see being a medical doctor?
So from Nigeria to the UK. That's a very huge question because I can do a tabula from Nigeria, UK. There are so many things that back home, when you come across them, you're helpless because the tools you need to make change are not there. And then in the UK, similar presentations, you can make a change, you can save a life. So in that regard, it's it's sad on one end and then bright on the other side. In terms of training, well, the kind of training I have now, I wouldn't have been able to get in Nigeria. Nigeria gave me the background, gave me the very solid medical foundation, but I needed to build on that.
Yes.
And the UK has given me the opportunity to achieve that. So I think basically that summarizes the kind of experiences back home, versus the UK. That answers the question.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Thank you so much. So now that you talk about UK Nigeria, the question to both of you is this: looking at the way Nigeria is now, what is your recommendation as a Nigerian?
All right.
And what is your recommendation as a doctor?
Let me just start a very quick one. I don't usually, talk about Nigeria because we can see here from now till tomorrow. We keep talking about the problems. I kind of like the way you phrase the question. What are your recommendations? And kind of developing.
As a Nigerian first. You're just the Nigerian. You're not
recommendations for what?
Just recommendation for anything, for progress, for change.
Progress, So that's a very fantastic question because, but we know what the problems are. They're numerous and we can't really exhaust. I think. But in terms of recommendation, again, we can only, kind of. I don't know. I think we need a critical mass of thinkers to be able to achieve anything in Nigeria. Because what's happening now is that we have probably the bad guys, not the good guys. That's the way I see it. There's no way to progress if you have the worst of us leading us. So we need thinkers, we need the young people in strategic places. And the problem with young people now is that they are also corrupt. I think the moral aspect is moral decadence and shortcuts to things. That I don't know. It's a very, very difficult and complex situation. But in terms of recommendation, what can we do? I think, yeah, we need that critical mass. We just need to keep preaching the gospel, people like you with platforms, to kind of engage young people, change their mindsets. I know there's so many of them in Nigeria. When I was there, they're trying to shape on the way people think, the way young people think. But again, that critical mass, once we don't achieve that critical mass, we're just going to be all talk. We're not going to achieve much. So that's as a Nigerian. Now, as an individual, I think we kind of got talking sometimes ago, a few days ago, about what you would do. Like, do you have any plans of going back, to help and all that? Again, that's not in the plan at the moment for obvious reasons. So maybe we have like 60, 65, close to endowment. I want to contribute my bit, but
before you jump out of the plane.
Yeah. I had this discussion with a mutual friend, not too long ago about we can't just keep staring at things. Like, we need to make solid moves to change the course, the way Nigeria is heading. Because if people living in developed countries, if they've not developed their country, we're not going to be here today. We cannot keep just migrating, question our economic migration and all that. It needs to stop at some point for Africans to be taken seriously. But as to how we can achieve that, we don't know. Maybe I will ask.
Okay, so just a quick comment something that you said that I've heard before, that I actually had a conversation with one of my brothers over the phone about that critical mass that's supposed to be thinking, because we engage an average Nigerian is how it's going to spoil. Even to go and vote is a big problem to some people.
Absolutely.
So to make somebody want to think rightly, and to actually make them want to, okay, when it's time to vote, go and vote for somebody who you have actually thought about, not somebody that gave you a bag of rice. So I'm just hearing that again. I've heard that before.
We need that critical mass. Unfortunately, I don't even think the right thinking people are up to 1% in the country.
Yeah, that's really sad.
I think this is where the problem is. So the population, we have two groups: the leading people, the leadership, and the followership. The problem right from the outset is that almost everyone that comes out as the leaders are not kind.
Are not kind.
They are not kind. They are not kind relative to the fact that they are not prepared to lead. They don't really have passion for the people. And almost everyone wants something for themselves.
Yes.
And to achieve that, they impoverish the population, the local people, everyone. So when the citizens are impoverished, they become unkind themselves. So that being unkind goes down from the leaders to the citizens. When they don't have anything, they look out for means of doing shady bits. So they want to survive by every means, and that's very bad cycle continues. When you don't have skills to be a leader, you're not prepared for it. You can't generate any policy ideas. What are you doing there? Why not be kind and stay wherever you are? I don't know.
It's because politics is too lucrative. It's too lucrative.
Yeah, that's where I'm still going.
It's a full-time job for people in Nigeria. It's not meant to be full-time.
That is where I'm coming to. So these are wicked people. So it's wickedness. It's wickedness when you have no skills, you have no investments to perform as a leader. You go there just because you want to steal, to make your life better, your family's life better, whilst people are crying under you. And the people cry to the point that they become insane, and then they start, harming themselves and harming you, in return, and that cycle carries on. So my thinking is, if you haven't developed yourself to really lead that one, you don't have skills to lead. Be kind. Don't go there.
Wow.
if you know that, okay, I don't, but I have capacity to support someone that's, is skilled, is developed, is, vast and
Can
all
do the
that,
job.
you can support them. But if you know that you want to support them because you want to control them, be kind. Don't support them. Leave them. Let them find their means of support from people, other people raise funds, as some politicians have tried to do. And so we need those people that are passionate about leadership, who have developed themselves over so many years, who can sit and generate policy ideas that will change the life of people on the streets.
Yeah.
And who will put a system in place to curb excesses. That is one. So when leadership is sorted, systems are in place to curb excesses, then the followers who can slowly begin to get molded and slowly they'll get better, but it's going to take decades. That is one. Two, personally, when the professional base, Nigeria is very big. I won't stress myself. My thinking, I think I have discussed with David before. I had the thoughts of, okay, can we have modular trauma centers with intensive care facility? Because one of the major killers in Nigeria is trauma. That's one of the hundreds of accidents every day. People with head injury, low GCS, and then they die on the streets because there is no ventilator, no ambulances to get into the.
Is that why you're interested in emergency?
That's what I do.
Yeah, he's thinking he wants to go back and
not that, but I can facilitate the process such that we have the modular trauma centers. We have a solid pre-hospital team. We have a solid hospital team that will help people. But then that leads us to funding. So it's a massive thing. I don't know, but I'm very passionate about politics. I've written so many things about politics.
Are you going to
politics? Are you going to politics?
No, I'm not going to go into politics.
You think you're not?
No, I'm very sure I'm not going to. The best I can do is, okay, let's sit down and generate ideas. Yeah, I'm all for that. But at the moment, the guys there are not ready.
Not ready.
And I want
it's too lucrative.
Yeah.
You need to take money out of politics.
So because if you want to be a leader, you want to bleed for people. You want to stay awake when they are sleeping. You want to be thinking, what can I do to prevent the next outbreak of diseases? What can I do to make schools better for the children? You're just thinking, and every fund coming in, you're not thinking, okay, my friend, let me give you 100 million contract, and then you will pay me back 20 million, and that one will, out of the 80 million, will take another 20 million and use 50 million for. That's how these guys are thinking. And it's unfortunate.
Well said. Now let's ask Tolu himself, because he's kind of undergoing leadership courses, skills. He's got the skills and all that. So what do you think is the solution?
Okay, so I'm going to make a quick comment on what you said concerning impoverishing people and making them poor. I think part of it is just the culture of African culture, whereby in order for you to see that the pastor is powerful, people have to almost roll on the floor when the pastor is pastor. And you wonder if the pastor has more anointing than the pastor in the Western world.
My daddy.
So it's not only that, just even in the it's not only religious setting, even in the work settings. In order for the CEO to look powerful, they have 3 drivers. You have to have 3 drivers. Somebody has to carry your bag, and the more people that carry your bag, the more powerful you appear. So I think there's a culture of just making people, in order for you to see somebody's a leader, there has to be that gap. It seems that the wider the gap between you and another person, the more powerful you are, and the more you think you can do your job.
We need to collapse that.
That's it. I'll give you 2 examples that suggest. One, in the Western world, in America, even my boss, the Chiga I saw on my birthday, the first thing that she tells me that, when you send me an email, don't call me doctor. Just
you flatten the hierarchy.
So that people are not interested in what you can do, what kind of relationship, and not just the title. Title's like most people just drop the title. But then in Africa, when you do that, you can be in trouble if you drop somebody's title, because they'll tell you they'll tell you a childhood story. You do that.
Yeah.
Then another example of that is the bathroom. The
Yeah.
way you see that. So in back home, you at least at a bathroom at our university, the professors and the students don't use the same bathroom, right? Because there has to be that gap, right? I'm professor.
Yeah.
Who are
That
you?
relationship is already strained right from the start because
Who
that
are-
control element
Yeah.
is there. Yeah.
Who are you? I cannot enter the same room that you're going to enter. You go this way, I go this way. And when I'm talking, you don't look at me, you look down. Versus here, as you guys might have seen already, it's the same. Everybody enter the same way.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
So I think that's just it's part of the culture. Then to your question, I think I'm leaning towards what you suggested, and that's where leadership came from, in terms of the way people think. How many people actually understand who a leader is? I mean, one of the president, I don't want to mention names, just said, "Well, it's my turn to become a president," and people say, "Well, it's your turn. We don't even care if you are." You don't have the skills, because you tell us it's your turn, you're going to be there. So leadership, my mentor, John C. Maxwell, said, leadership is influence. And at the heart of leadership is service. So if you are not going there to serve, you don't have any, just like you said, if you're not going there to serve, you don't have any business there. Because if you're going to serve, service should not be easy. It should be something you're using your time, your energy, your resources. But then if it's lucrative, then it's a problem because everybody will want to be there. People are willing to kill. So let's make it a situation whereby it's less attractive. The money is not there anymore. You just don't change your family story by becoming a chairman. Look at government. Just that if you still have to work. Then it becomes like less attractive. All these people are interested, are not interested anymore.
Why should a chairman be collecting more than a teacher? What are they doing differently? What exactly?
Yeah.
Or a House of Rep member that sits in the chamber morning till night and just drinking coffee or whatever they drink there without any change ideas.
Yeah,
So
I think we all agree on that. It has to be less lucrative. Yeah. So I mean, let's just start rounding off now. Just want to ask, we've talked about friendship, how we met and stuff like that. We've already talked about how you met it. I think you guys kind of grew up right then. Right from how old were you?
We went the same church. Church family.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be like 5 or 6.
Yeah,
almost.
Then I think out of all of it, I think I probably met. No, I met her first, obviously from primary school. In terms of friends, I think Olumide was from two as well. Yeah.
Because you were the class captain just 2A.
Yeah.
And I had to talk to you about something. You're very nice. You're so nice. Then we could we started talking from that. Then we stayed together. I always were in the A. But just this is 2A, this is 3A, this is 1A.
I was actually G in 1.
Yeah, I was
A.
Yeah, I think we all have different.
Yeah. But you was when
I was 1B.
1B. Oh,
Olumide was 1B.
So they didn't know that you were so good then. They didn't know you were so good.
They actually classed it according to how you scored, how you performed in the common entrance.
Oh, so I was D.
I never knew. But yeah, I was in B then. Yeah.
But now they say, okay, this guy's really good.
A.
Yeah, now bring everybody together in A, then we stick together.
Yeah, I mean, it's the, how do they say the saying? It's the outcome that matters.
Yeah, the outcome of everything, law of attraction.
The end justifies the means. Is that what you want to remember?
No, not really, but yeah, I mean, you get the idea. So that's what we talk about friendship, talk about career, talk a little bit about politics. We'll talk a little bit about family now. We'll talk about Tasha.
So let's talk about you guys too. How did you guys meet?
Before we get there, it's a long story. It's all about you today. We can dedicate session, to talk about that.
Really?
It's a long story, but yeah, let's make it simple. Just you.
Okay.
So now you've got 2 beautiful kids, bringing up kids in this part of the world. It's a little bit different from when we were growing up back in Nigeria. There's some cultural differences that we've had to imbibe as well. We've come to accept as normal as well. So we think maybe things that are done a bit excessive back at home in terms of how you bring up your child, how you kind of make them fall in line.
Yes.
So have you had any challenges? How's it been, taking care of your two beautiful kids?
Wow, it's a very interesting question. One thing that I've done better in life is to be more open-minded to the environment. We call something cultural shock. I don't know what you guys understand what I mean.
Everybody experiences it. Once you migrate, you're going to experience that.
I'm still getting shocked. It's a continuous
endless.
process. It's endless. But I think it has gotten better over the time because I keep observing the environment and trying to see what works for me and what would not work. So in terms of parenting, I had a podcast guest that she was talking about a Grenian parenting method. In which case, they're saying that a child should never be beaten. And if you beat a child, you're actually destroying the child's future. And
it's a crime in UK.
Yeah, it's a crime.
Is it a crime here as well?
It's a crime here too.
Right.
So that now adjusting that fact, I say, well, I know I shouldn't beat my kid, but then I still have to let the child know that what you did was not. And so using different skills and different methods, I think it has been very challenging.
Because I think we kind of agree on that it's challenging bringing up kids in this part of the world. And that's why I just wanted to, kind of hear your own opinion as well. So it's kind of skill that you have to learn as a parent.
Yeah.
Parenting skill are different types anyway. I think I know about the gentle parenting skill,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is rubbish, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I'm really open to learning all the skills. Gentle parenting skill, I think one size does not fit all.
That's what I'm going at. You still, at the end of the day, you would still have had to use different models.
Exactly. So it's a mixed bag.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's not just one type.
No.
Because kids are different.
Yeah.
I wish I had kids like me. Growing up where you're always falling in line. You don't want to upset your parents, and then you kind of know what they like, what they don't like. It just give you the eye, and you understand. But the kids nowadays, you have to talk and talk and talk.
So immediately you start looking at them,
you have to talk 50 times to make it change.
So I used to tell people that for my mom, for her to make you adjust, all my mom used to do is to look at you and just bite her lips. You know that you're doing something wrong, and you're supposed to adjust.
Yeah.
And then you kind of just she have to tell you that if you don't adjust, that's spanking.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then once you spanked once, you kind of remember, I don't want that to happen again. And that was what worked. I think all this spanking thing and all that, talking about my experience now, I think by the time I was like 10, it had stopped, 10, 11. I think we entered here this one at 10, 11 years of age. So by that time, you're already, you've been molded. You've been molded, so you know what to your parent. You know what the right things are. You know the wrong things, and that kind of helps. So I think it's that initial thing that's very important.
That's true.
Because train your child. I think it's by biblical thing, isn't it? Train your child
in the way they should,
and they will never. Exactly. So,
Reverend Sadusi.
I went to agriculture grammar school. I went to St. Benedict. So I've always been like, So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's a big challenge. But I think what I've come to realize is that it's all about sitting them down, talking, explaining why you want something to change. But
it's also
there's hope that it works.
Then at some point when they grow a bit older, the non-verbal bits come in as well, because they observe things you do and then they pick. So I think it's all in phases.
Yeah, like you said, also the fact that you have different genetic traits mixing. And you see that one child is more to this side, and the other side. You have to remember, okay, this is this child I'm dealing with now. I have to be a little bit like this. And this other child I have to slow down because they're more sensitive.
So learning never stops. We keep learning every day. That's interesting. And I think
any more questions for Tolu? I think we've covered everything basically.
20, I remember this one, 20 children cannot be friends for 20 years. What's your take on that? Because we've been together for more than 20 years now, isn't it?
That's a fallacy.
That's generalization. Well, almost 28, almost 30.
But I understand where that phrase, what they're trying to say. It's a relative phrase as well.
But we are not 20.
But now we are going back to the UK, like a few like in 24 hours. So they say something like that, like, oh, you have to go back to where you live. So it's not like you after 20 years you break off.
Exactly, and it doesn't feel like the last time I saw Tulu was probably 6-7 years ago, 2016.
It doesn't feel like that.
It doesn't feel like we've not seen for a long time. We just
Yeah.
picked up from where we stopped, and social media, everything has really made things very easy. So 20 children cannot be friends for 20
So
years.
I think when that phrase was true, will be like 50 years ago. So once you leave your village and someone has gone to someone has gone to UK, so there's no means to communicate
anymore.
Yeah, so it was true, but now I think we've moved on past that. Yeah, but it's interesting, So,
Well, thank you so much. We can wrap up the session. Thank you, guys. I hope you've enjoyed and learned something from our conversation on friendship, association, celebrating my birthday with my childhood friends, Dr. Shion Bayomiko and Dr. Sharosi, from all the way from United Kingdom. Thank you for enjoying the conversation, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
bye.
And thank you for being here, my guest.
All right.